Hey everyone, welcome to Got Interfacing's YouTube channel, and I'm Mel from Sewing with Mel, and we're going to be doing a bucket hat sew along. All right, so this first video is going to be the prep video, so I can tell you about printing and a few things that I've learned about the pattern before we get started. This pattern is from Mood, the fabric store. You can go to their website and get the free pattern, and I will put the link in the description. Okay, so I made 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. This one I made first. And this one I used Woven Fuse 2 for the lining and the outside, okay? I like it the best, but it was by far the most difficult to turn because it was stiffer. Okay, so then I made this one, and as you can see, it's not quite as stiff as this one is, okay? This one I made out of the original Woven Fuse, both sides, okay? Then I had to make a third one, and I like it too. I actually used, for the outside, for the main fabric, I used Woven Fuse 2, and for the inside, I used the original Woven Fuse. And I like them all, to tell you the honest truth. So whichever one you'd like to use, I'm gonna leave that up to you. Okay, let me move this here and this. So let's talk about the pattern, okay? Once again, it's from Mood, and when you download it, you're downloading all the pattern pieces, not the written instructions. There are written instructions on the website, but the pattern doesn't come with the ponytail opening. I did that on my own. So throw those written instructions out the window because we're not using those. We're gonna go by how I do it so that you can do this. Now, if you do not want a ponytail opening in your hat, then you can just skip those parts. And I'm actually gonna make 2 hats in the video, one with a ponytail opening and the other without. So those who are not making a hat with a ponytail opening can just skip that and go right to putting the brim on. Let's talk about printing the pattern, all right? So the pattern, when you download it, for me anyway, and I imagine a lot of people, it automatically opened in a browser window, and then you can print from there. I tried 3 different ways to print this pattern from the browser window. It did not print to size, okay? The only way that I got this to print to size was by saving it on my laptop, and then I opened it in Adobe and printed it from there, and then it came out perfect. So if you're having printing issues, it's probably because you've got to open it in Adobe Reader and print it from there. I want you to look at the first page, okay? Before you print anything, listen to what I have to say. Stop. Print just this page first to check accuracy, okay? So that square over here, this one right here, is 2 inches. There would be no reason to print this page other than that. Okay, well, I have news for you. You do not have to print that page, so go to the next one. This is page 2, and it has the same square on it. It's also 2 inches. This is gonna have your size and stuff on it, and it's gonna tell you this is the size line key, and it's a little bit hard to see probably on camera, but each line has different dots and dashes so that you can see which size you're going to be, okay? So print this so you can measure this. If that works, and that is indeed 2 inches square, then you're good to go, okay? So measure your head. I measured my head and it was 22 all the way around, okay? It says I'm a teen. I have the head of a teenager. So when you measure, you're measuring just straight around your head above your ears, just where a hat would fit. Find your number, and whatever letter is up here, that's what size you're gonna cut out, okay? So do that first, figure out what size, then don't print this. Print 2, 3, and 4, okay? Because this right here is what's going to determine whether it fits or not, okay? So what I did was I actually used Decor Bond because I don't use it anymore and I have a whole bolt of it. And I cut two. I sewed them 1/2 inch seam allowance on both sides, okay? And then I tried that on my head and it fit. So just for reference, mine was a 22, a teenage head. This is the size 22 and it fit perfectly. If I pull it down around pull it down over my forehead a little bit, it even stays on when I'm riding around in our Polaris Ranger, okay? But do this first, because that way you're not printing all these pages based on a pattern that you think is the right size. What if it's not? What if you needed to go up a size? What if you needed to go down a size? Then you got to cut them all out again and waste all that paper and your time. All right, we don't want to waste our time or our fabric or anything. So if this fits and you got the right one, print out the rest of them and tape them all together, okay? It goes together pretty easy. So you'll have your band, you'll have the crown, and you'll have the brim. Band, crown, brim. On the Mood website, in the written instructions, they give you fabric requirements. And they said you'd need 1 yard for the outside, 1 yard for the lining. It's way less than that. You could get a whole hat out of 1 yard and still have fabric left. It's less than 1/2 yard for each part. So like less than 1/2 yard for the mane, that's what I'm gonna call that. And less than half of a yard for the lining. And you'll need the same amount of whatever kind of interfacing you choose to use. I wouldn't use anything heavier than Woven Fuse 2, okay? Or you will have trouble birthing this. You might even do, I haven't tried this yet, you might even just interface the main part and not the lining. I like the stability that it gave me, the structure of this hat, when I did it on both sides. That's the end of the prep video. So get your stuff all together and be prepared for part 2, and we'll cut everything out and start sewing. See you soon.